Hello and welcome. My name is Undercover Nerd and I'm here to introduce to you HWS 8.0. You will start your journey in HWS 8 as all the predecessors before. You will be choosing a origin. Now we have the three origins to choose from, and that is Alliance, Freelancer and Lawless. And of course, if you are undecided at the start, you can go for Prototype, and that story will lead you to choosing one of those origins at the end of completing the survival phase. Regardless of whatever origin you pick, the initial stages and the first steps into the game are there really to guide you into a pretty seamless multiplayer experience. Now, if you're new, this is kind of crucial. Of course, if you have played on the server many times before, then this is something you'll be very used to. On that note, as part of this new release, we have also made it as user-friendly as possible for new people to really understand exactly how the server works. Before, perhaps it could have been a little bit confusing at the start. Now we signpost you through plenty of different areas, so before you jump into the real universe, you understand roughly what the server is and what it's about. A very nice new addition to HWS 8 brings now the opportunity for you to pick difficulty levels depending on different areas in that biome. Whereas before the difficulty level was set by biome, we have now opened this up. Now of course, because planets are up to 64 times bigger than they used to be, it now makes more sense than ever to have different levels of difficulty depending on what biome you are in on that particular playfield. So that's what we've gone for. As we can also see here, what this does also allow is for a quicker way of traveling throughout the larger biomes, depending on what origin you pick. So for example, you could pick very easy in the grasslands, but this teleporter is two-way. So what that means is you can come back to this area and you could in fact go to the radioactive area. So look at it as a way of not just picking where you want to go based on difficulty, but if you do want to navigate yourself around the planets at the start, this is made a lot easier. So once you've taken your baby steps into the starter planet, depending on what origin you are, the next course of action is of course to survive. Now, depending on where you've chosen to start and what origin will naturally determine how difficult that may be. So of course, some starter planets will be easier than others. Some will require quite a lot of survival tactics and others not so much. Really, it is completely up to you what type of playstyle you want to go for. If you are perhaps new to the game, it might be worthwhile starting with one of the less harsh starter planets and origins. Regardless of what origin you decide to become, every single starter in HWS will have a mix of exclusive and pretty unique POI. Those of you that know HWS well will know also that we are no strangers to puzzles, mysteries and secrets within the universe. That is no different in HWS 8, so make sure you always keep a keen eye out, because I can assure you there's some nice mysteries and rewards out there in the universe. Make sure you keep an eye out within the universe for EGS, of course, which is Elemental Galactic Services. They are the service biggest corporation, and they bring you services such as hospitals, restaurants, ammunition shops, and they are getting bigger and bigger with every HWS release. HWS 8.0 brings you 24 player v player playfields, whilst also 31 player v environment playfields. So whatever playstyle you are, there should always be something out there in the universe to suit your playstyle. Now, I'd recommend downloading this map on screen now, which you can get from the forum, just as a nice reference guide. So now looking at a new addition coming to HWS 8, and that is the implementation of supergates. Now supergates, there are three different types. You have blue, which basically allows free-flowing teleportation between one area and another, of course, in your ship, which is fantastic. So if you see a blue one, it means that you can, using the chat command, you can warp from one area of the universe to another area in the universe, and then effectively you could warp back. Now, when you see a orange supergate, that effectively means that you are able to warp out from there, but not in. So in this case, for example, what we can see there is the Titan planet. And it effectively means that for us to be able to leave the Titan orbit, we must use that supergate. There is no other way of getting out. So the last type of supergate is a red supergate. And much like the orange, it is only one way, but it works opposite. So what that means is that effectively you can warp in to this area, so this part of the universe, but you will not be able to go through a red supergate. Another change coming to HWS 8 is with the very popular Golden Globe. As we can see below there, that red type of gold is incredibly valuable. Unfortunately, like with anything, a lot of reward means a little bit of risk, or maybe a lot of risk. What happens when you enter that area is you automatically become guilty. If you don't know what that means, it's worth checking the forum out. But to keep it simple, it means that your position will be exposed and you are in threat of other people coming and attacking you. Okay, so you need to ask yourself whether or not it is worth a risk. Do you want to be mega rich? Do you want to risk it? I would. So staying on the same topic with Golden Globe, now you'll be able to see some spawn pads around the planet just to make life a little bit easier for you guys in spawning your PvP ships. So for your convenience, we have also added a public repair pad on Golden Globe. It has got an admin core, which means it's indestructible, but do bear in mind it is open to the public, so maybe just scout the area before you land your precious ships. There is a brand new mysterious planet making its way into HWS 8, and that is called Titan. Now, Titan is essentially a planet where anything goes down. Limits, restrictions, they don't exist on this mysterious place, but do tread with caution, as I've heard it's pretty dangerous. For those of you into their PvE and are looking for a challenge, I'd very much recommend stopping by Alien Hatchery. Let's just say there's a few aliens knocking about. Or perhaps for those of you that like things a little bit quieter, why not step on by to Sanctuary? Now, something to bear in mind with the PvEs at the bottom of the universe, and that does include the origin planets, is that once the core count of 200 is reached, you will have to pay for the luxury. You will start getting taxed, so do bear that one in mind and keep an eye on the core count of those lower-end PvE planets. Don't forget to stop on by to EGS headquarters on your travels, where you have access to a range of galactic services spread throughout the universe. And don't forget that this is also a place where you can embark on a range of HWS events and missions. Don't forget to stop on by the famous HWS garage to spend some of that hard-earned gold on some very unique and special ships. There is plenty of things out there in the HWS universe for you guys to get your teeth sunk into. This is just a very short video about a summary of some of the key things. Whatever your playstyle, whatever it is you want to achieve in HWS, whether you are a single player or playing as a group of friends, there's plenty out there for everyone. So the most important thing, guys, is have fun. From me, Undercover Nerd, and from the HWS team, we wish you the best of luck out there.